Adam Schefter with the very latest. Adam, what can you tell us about some breaking news in the NFL when we're talking about coaching decisions?
Well, Kevin, moments ago, Jim Harbaugh is going to take the head coaching job with the Los Angeles Chargers. He's leaving Ann Arbor, Michigan. Finally, he is going to the NFL. He is getting a deal done with the Chargers that they are in the process of finalizing. He will be the new head man in Los Angeles with Justin Herbert as his quarterback. He was scheduled to go to Atlanta on Thursday, but that trip will not happen right now. He's going to be coaching for the Los Angeles Chargers. They're in the process of getting that deal done right now with him being the new head coach. And you look back on all the things that he did at Michigan, an 89-25 record, a 40-3 record in the last 3 years, 3 straight Big Ten titles, the AP Coach of the Year, and of course, 2023 national champions. But Jim Harbaugh essentially is now headed out, and he's going to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. He was a man in demand, and clearly his time was going to come here. He had dabbled a couple of years ago with the Minnesota Vikings. He talked to the Denver Broncos last year, and now, ironically enough, he winds up in the AFC West coaching with the Chargers. This is something that the two sides have been working on throughout the course of today. The Chargers were trying to get this deal done before he would go to Atlanta to visit the Falcons, who also were interested. And now this leaves 4 other vacancies. And it leaves one in Atlanta, where the Falcons met today with Mike Vrabel, where they've met with Bill Belichick. But Michigan now has an opening. They have a gaping hole there with a man who had changed the culture there in Ann Arbor, got things turned around, beat Ohio State, took Michigan to the Final Four in 3 straight years, and now, after a national championship, is now going to be leaving Ann Arbor to take the job with the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh gets that done. Obviously, huge news that will have massive reverberations across the NFL world and across the college football world, Kevin. Huge story, massive ramifications. What do you got for me?
So when we talk about Michigan, Sharon Moore was the guy that came in and actually coached the games that Harbaugh missed, those 6 games for Michigan during this fantastic run for them last year, dealing with a ton of adversity. My question to you specifically is, why the Chargers for Harbaugh when you have so many other options and choices?
Well, I think here's the deal. Michigan had an offer on the table to make him the highest paid coach in college football. And Michigan, though, could not offer him the chance to win a Super Bowl. And really, that's ultimately it. He would have loved to have stayed at Michigan. Michigan would have loved to have had him. But the fact of the matter is, the Chargers give him the ability to compete for a Super Bowl. And I think that Jim Harbaugh clearly was interested in L.A. He was interested in Atlanta. But the first visit was to Los Angeles, to the Chargers. And because of that, that gave them, I believe, an advantage. And Atlanta had carried on its business. There are many factors that appeal about the Chargers, and I think you start with Justin Herbert. Everywhere that Jim Harbaugh has been, Kevin, he has turned around that program. He was a quarterback in San Diego with the Chargers.
Yep.
He has gone on. He knows the ownership group. He knows the Spanos family, and he is a huge Justin Herbert fan. So when this opportunity was presented to him, it was a question of whether the two sides can come to a common ground in terms of the infrastructure within the organization, on a contract, on a deal, and all those elements came together today to where now he's going to become the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. And I think the Falcons would have been in play, and I think that was an opportunity that really appealed to him. But the Chargers stepped up today, this afternoon, just now, to make it such that he wouldn't leave L.A. and get on that plane to go to Atlanta. Thus, he becomes the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers.
And unfinished business in the NFL, because remember, before he took over the Michigan job, he was with the 49ers, and he lost in the Super Bowl to his brother John. That team felt really good going into halftime, and they lose that game to the Ravens as the head coach of the 49ers. Shefty, really good stuff there. John Harbaugh, make that Jim Harbaugh. Very busy week for the Harbaughs. John's getting ready for the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl with his Ravens team, and brother Jim is now going to be the next head coach of the L.A. Chargers. Harbaugh becomes just the 5th coach in AP poll history to win a national title and not return with the team the following season. He's the first to do so since Tom Osborne retired after the 1997 title with Nebraska.